Hello friends, I got a jewelry bag today and I was telling a story about how I got the bag and why I picked up the bag, and I gave out some personal information, and so I had to stop the video and start it again. So I already opened it, but the story is the person who works there keeps saying that there's nothing in the bags, and the manager keeps saying, oh, she's not sorting them, and I keep saying she is sorting them. I've been doing this for over 20 years and I know what should be in there, and there isn't any in there. And every once in a while, if I go right at the end of the day when she thinks nobody's going to come, she'll put them out and then she can buy them. And so today she was super upset. I went like 5 minutes before they closed, went in, and nobody was around, so I had to go ask for somebody to come and look and show, get so I could get into the cabinet to look at them. So this bag was $20. There was 2 bags, and he keeps saying they're not sorting them. I'm like, they're absolutely sorting them. One bag had blue and silver in it, and this bag had all gold in it, gold and pearls. And normally she'll even pull the pearls out separately, but I know he's talked to her, and she keeps saying she's not doing anything. It's just as they go, but the bags are never as good as they used to be, except once or twice I'll get in there, write it when she's not around, like right at closing or when she's going off, she'll put them out and then she can buy them. And I've had this problem in the past where, in a small town, they don't have a lot of workers. The same thing happened to when the lady a couple times back was doing them. She would also put everything she wanted in one bag, put all the bags out as she was leaving, and then go and buy that one bag, hoping nobody would do it while she was checking out, signing out from work. So I know that it happens, and he can't tell me they're not sorting it. He told me they're not sorting it, and I said they're absolutely sorting it because these are all blue and these are all gold. And if they weren't going through everything by hand, they would, everything would be mixed in as they used to be. And these bags used to be full, and now you can see it's not very full at all. And so I laughed when they called somebody to the thing, and it happened to be that lady because there was not very many people there at the end of the day. And she said, there's nothing in them. There's nothing of value in them. And I said, well, it's just fun to look. So she opened up the cabinet. I pick it up, and I immediately in the gold one see, and I'm going to pull it out because it was like very clear. I saw this chain. And I was like, oh, that looks like real gold. And it's kind of a thick chain. It's not one of the thin ones. And so I slid it around so that I could see the clasp. And I think you might be able to see it without maybe not. Okay, so then I pulled out this kit that I keep in my purse with my loop and my magnet. So then I grabbed my magnet, and I was trying to go through the bag, but I could see that it wasn't magnetized. So then I was like, I'm pretty sure that's gold. So I flipped it to the loop. Okay, that side's the designer mark. Let's see. So it's this side. So I could see that it said, let's see if I can get it where the glare is not super glary with the windows here. Can you see the 14K? It says 14K. So not only was it on the loop, it was on these side clasps as well. I could see there was writing on them. Let me see if I can show you that as well. There's just so much reflection. And maybe, where is it? Well, maybe there's not writing on the sides. It was through the bag, and I haven't looked at it. I just barely opened the bag, but like I said, I opened my mouth and had to stop the tape. I was like, oh shoot, I said some personal people's names, so I thought I'd better not. Anyway, it's right there that I saw it. So right on the teeny little part of the clasp, right, that little teeny part right there of the clasp, there's some writing. And can you see? It says 925. Now sometimes 925 is used for gold, pure gold, but because this is not pure gold, that kind of makes me wonder if there's 14 karat this, and then the clasp is silver with gold plate. But we can test see if Okay, so there is some magnetism to the clasp, which is kind of normal sometimes with gold, especially if it's an expensive piece. And this is heavy gold. This is a heavy amount of gold. So anyway, I just laughed because she's like, oh, there's nothing of value in there. And the first thing I see says 14K, and that's a chunky necklace. And then I was looking at the second one, and she said, and then she saw that I was getting that one, and she kind of turned and leaned against the cabinet, kind of upset. And I said, well, you know, I think I'm going to take that bag. And she goes, well, why don't you just buy both of them, and then you can go home and look at them at home. Kind of upset. And I thought, wow, she is not happy I came and got that gold. So it's interesting. I mean, that might be the only thing of value in the bag, but that's a large amount of gold for $20. You know, that's a good amount. Even if the clasp isn't, that I should probably get my little scale out and weigh it for you, but I'm actually in kind of a hurry, so I'm going to just go through this fast. So that, I think that might be the only thing of value in the bag, but we'll just check it out. Okay, so here's feels like it could be a glass crystal. It's kind of heavy actually. And I don't know why, but my colors do not show. This is pink. This is a kind of pink quartz color, and this is a kind of a pink crystal. It doesn't show that way, but it actually is. And it's not real. You can see it's magnetized, but it actually is kind of pretty anyway, and I kind of like it because I do have some pink quartz jewelry that I like. So I'm going to have that I wear. So I'm going to keep that because I like it. So, all right. Then I've got a big knotted mess. There's an earring clip on, and I have a girl, if you watch any of my other videos, I have a girl that I give all the clip-on earrings to. It's not magnetized. I'm just testing the magnet. It's not magnetized. I mean, those don't look real. Obviously, they aren't real, but it looks like a good designer. So I'm just looking to see if I don't see any designer marks on it. Sometimes you can sell them, you know, certain people have allergies and they wear clip-on earrings. So sometimes you can sell clip-ons for quite a bit. Wow, that is a super heavy earring. I would not wear that because that would rip your hole. That's super, super heavy. If there's only one of these, I will put it in the recycle. It's brass. It's not there's no magnetism to it, so it's a solid, heavy piece of brass. This neutral beads. People wear these for pageants. Other than that, most people, unless they're business women, they don't typically wear these. I need to reclasp, but I just broke it. I'm so good at that. Anyway, I don't typically wear beads like that, so I won't be keeping that. This is actually really lightweight. This could be gold. I thought it was going to be heavy brass beads, but it's very lightweight, and sometimes they'll make gold necklaces like this, and they make the beads hollow so that it's not heavy and it doesn't cost $1 million. So it's not magnetic. Okay, the clasp is a little magnetic. Gosh, you know, when you're using a bag and you're looking through the bag, the plastic on the bag, you can't tell what the weight is from, if it's from what in the bag is heavy or not heavy. Interesting. So it has 585 on it. So when they're talking about pure sterling or pure gold, sometimes they'll use 925 for pure gold, and then they will use, when they break it down, so like 24 carats would be 925, and then half of that would be 12 carat, and so they break down the numbers. So this is, I'm guessing this is 12 carat or 14 carat, because they broke it down, 925, 585, so it's probably 14 karat gold. So when you break it down, let's see if I can do it without a reflection right there. It says 585. So no wonder the worker at the store was upset that I was getting this bag because this is also gold. Look at that. Wow. I can see, I chuckled as I left the store. I'm like, she was not happy that I noticed there was gold in that bag. That is hilarious. It's kind of sad actually, because you think about this, she's going home every week or so with a bag of gold and silver probably. So kind of funny that I got it, but sad for the store losing all their value that they could get out of selling this at a higher price. People would buy this. Okay, this is, you never know on these kind whether they're gold or silver. I mean, real gold or not, because if they're hollow gold, they'll, like I've said on the beads, they'll make it hollow so that it doesn't cost them as much to make it. However, typically those ones will have non-silver tops. See, this is silver, and you could see it was magnetic inside. But sometimes what they will do, even with gold, is they will put cheaper metal inside the gold. So this is gold, say this was gold. What happens is, if it's real gold, it will bend, and I have another one I could show you somewhere. Oftentimes if it's a higher quality gold, it will bend and kink. And so what they do sometimes is put metal inside the gold to make them a little heavier so they'll hang, and also so they don't bend when you're trying to wear them, or if you lean against something. So it just, sometimes it depends on, so what you have to do is look on the inside of these and also on the sides of these. But typically if they are real, they have a flatter, this is just a little round and silver, but what they'll do is they'll make it flatter up at the top so that they can stamp it. So you want to just look on the inside, and also you can rub your fingers all over, and I've showed this on the other videos too, is you can run your fingers on the inside, because sometimes they'll use lasers and it's written really teeny on the higher quality gold. So I don't think this is actually gold. Like if it is, it's magnetic all the way around, actually, until you get about here. So it could have, see, watch this. So if I put it here, it's not magnetic. And if I put it here, it is magnetic. And then over to here, it's not up here, but it is over here. So they could have put some metal in there. But the thing is there's no writing up here. So I would have to test it. But I don't see any writing on it. So it could just be brass with metal on the inside, because brass is not magnetic either. So because it just doesn't look like real gold, it's kind of shiny and shimmery. So I will probably test that, but I think it's just brass with maybe the metal inside to keep it, although brass is pretty thick. So I will test it later. Sometimes you just don't know. It doesn't have a real gold, kind of has a more mellow look than the bright and shiny, kind of more of a yellow look. And you can see that when you look at, I have a video that says like telling the difference between types of gold, and so I have rings of like 10 karat, 14 karat, 18 karat gold, and you can see the difference in them. And so it's kind of a good way to kind of get used to it and be able to tell by just looking quickly. Okay, this is just kind of a cute gold diamondy looking necklace. It had a bunch of knots in it, but you can tell by the clasp it's not real. You can tell by the back that it is not real. If it was real diamonds, there'd be opening, and it's just like plated. You can tell that it's just kind of a plated. But if it was real, any kind of real diamond or jewel, they have an opening in the back so the light can catch in the gem and make it more sparkly. I will keep this for dress up, kind of my granddaughter, but it's not of any value. Okay, GWMG it looks like, or MY. I don't know this brand, but it's on all of the, each one of the things has it. Even they've got a little tag here, so I'll look that brand up. It's not, I'm sure it's not real, it just doesn't have that look, but some designers stuff's of value anyway. Actually, the key itself is, well, it's not a key. I don't know. The copper, it looks like it was plated and the plate's coming off. So I will probably just, I don't think it's probably a value. Oh, it says believe on it right there. I think I'm just going to put it into the recycling. It doesn't seem to have, like, you wouldn't want to wear it with the plating coming off. Now this is interesting that she put this in there because it's not gold. It's silver, so maybe she was doing quick sorting. Anyway, not real. Recycle. All right, here's the other earring to that one. Wow, this is super heavy. This feels like a designer from the 80s is what this feels like. Good heavens, it's super heavy. It would hurt to wear this. It's so heavy. It looks like it's brass. I'm trying to see if I can see a designer mark on it. I am not seeing a designer mark on it, but it is super heavy. Like if this was real gold, I would be wealthy. It is super heavy. Well, it matches my Blessed Mom shirt. Wow. I think that would be painful to wear all day. It is super heavy. Wish it was real. Okay, let's see. Kind of a dress-up gold chain. I don't know. I've got a bunch of these out of a bag. One of the last couple bags I got, it was just a bunch of these magnetic. I think they were like carnival jewelry or something. Like you'd get a kid would win at the carnival. I had a whole bag of like the last couple bags actually have had them in there. So I think they're just pulling out of a same container because those are exactly what I pulled out of another bag. Now this one I saw through the bag and I was wondering if it could be real gold. Okay, it looks like maybe just this would be. Not sure why my computer's binging. So it looks like the back may not be, or it could all be brass. So that looks Avon. So the back is magnetic, but this part was not acting magnetic. So I'm going to look closely at that. And it could just be brass. It could still be just Avon and it could be brass. So what you do is you just run your fingernail along this and feel if it's got any etching in it. Usually earrings are marked on the stem or right around the top up here. So, and by looking at it, and I'll show you in a minute, it's made cheaply. Like I don't think, well, actually, no, it's soldered. Maybe it is real. Hold on a minute. Wow. Okay. This is good. This is why you always check. So the back was a cheap Avon back. This was not magnetic. It could be brass. However, by looking at with this, I can see that it looked like it was cheaply made, but it looks like it's actually been soldered on like you would with gold. So then I looked at the stem closer. I did not feel any engraving when okay, now I'm, you know what, if I rub it like with the front, I couldn't necessarily feel it, but when I rub it with the side, I could feel it. And it says 14, gosh, why is that binging? It says 14K and then some designer marks. So it is 14K, but you can barely see it. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see it. Can you see right there that writing? It's so small. Anyway, so that's 14K, but I was going to show you look like cheaply made, but because of the way, so look, it looks like one that was made by, say, a machine, that would be welded on the front, right? It would just be welded. I'll see if I can find one in there to show you. So it would be welded directly on it. But this one is welded underneath right there. And if you look, you can see it's welded with gold. It's not, there's no black, there's no lead, it's actually welded on with gold. And what is binging? I don't know what's binging. I don't know. I have something plugged in the kitchen, and I think it might be that. I apologize for that. I'm going to go unplug it. Can you hear it binging? That is so funny. It's plugged in. It never has done that. It just keeps binging. Anyway, so this is exciting. No wonder she didn't want me to look at this bag. So let's see if you can see right there. You can see it much more clearly there. You can see it's kind of welded. Let's try that again. Right there. And you can see it's welded with gold right there. Now, let's see if I can show you that writing. Oh gosh. I'm trying to get it in the right light. Right there, there's writing. So always run your finger, and even though this was Avon and it was magnetic, double check, run your finger, use a magnetic, a magnet, and always look with a loop. 14K. So far we've got 3 14K things out of this bag, and she was telling me, oh, there's nothing in it. And it's funny, she'll put a bunch of junk out, like shells you get really cheap from a cruise or something, and Mardi Gras beads, and she'll put it in there for $20, and she'll be upset. She's like, did you buy it today? And I'm like, I didn't buy it. There was nothing in it. But anyway, it's funny. I don't know how she stays working there, but she does. Okay, now I'm trying to get this watch undone. I have had quite a few watches that are gold like this, but they're not real, and you can see the plating coming off on the back. However, if there's plating on it, there is some value for people who recycle the gold. So there's a little bit of value to it, even though it's plated. You can see it's magnetic. Well, you might not be able to. It's picking up a little bit, but it's super heavy. So it doesn't even have a brand name. And on the back, there's a made in China or something. Taiwan, made in Taiwan sticker that's coming off. So not probably much of value. Interestingly enough, though, it has a back that looks expensive. These type of watches are typically expensive, and you have to have a special tool to unscrew them. But if the back gold plating wasn't coming off, and you can see, I'm going to try and show you. It kind of starts to, so you can see on the edges that it's silver. Hopefully you can see that. Sorry. So it's kind of, the gold is wearing off, and it's kind of silver on the edge, and then it gets to where it's got black gunk attached to it. But you can kind of see along the edge it's silvery here, and then it's gold there, and then it kind of gets rusty a little bit. So, but I do believe that it's probably plated enough with enough gold plate that it would be worth to recycle it in the gold bag. So I have like gold teeth gold and things like that that you can recycle. So that's where that's going to go. Another clip-on earring. My little neighbor friend will love that. It looks very brassy in the back. It doesn't even look like it's been worn. Look how shiny that is. And brass is not magnetic, so but there are, I double check to see, but usually because it's heavy, I can see that it looks plated, and I'll show you where I believe that. And I show on different videos how to tell, but if it's bumpy, can you see how it's kind of black at the edges and it's kind of bumpy? It's not smooth. If it's real gold, it's smooth. It's not bumpy like that. So, all right, this is just kind of like it looks like tin kind of, and it's a little bit, there's some magnetism on it. The clasp on it, is not closed. If it's valuable, that is welded shut, that little hole right there on the back. See how there's a little hole right there, a gap. So this just looks like somebody put these three little charms on it. So, but usually if it's valuable, they will weld that back. So that's another way that you'll know. This looks like a brass 80s enamel, but it could be designer. It is kind of heavy. But I want to look at the back, because if some of the earrings came, sometimes people will exchange their backs. So if one of them is 14 karat and the other one is an Avon back, you want to make sure that you're checking the backs of all of the earrings to see if they're magnetic. Okay, so see, that's magnetic. It's not 14K. Well, I want to find the back to that 14 karat gold one that had an Avon back on it. Here is a hair clasp. This is a genuine crystal pendant and earring set. It looks like it's the kind of back boxes you get at Walmart for Christmas for somebody. It's cute. I'm sure it's, not real, but it's a cute little gift box set. Oh, look, it's $5. So that can be given away as a gift for Christmas. I do different games at Christmas. You can look it up. One is, oh gosh, this or that. It's like I have boxes, and I say, do you want this item, or you can pick one of the boxes, and they, okay, here we go. And then they can pick some, a box, and so that's one of the gifts I would use for that. Okay, so this earring back has a designer mark on it, and it says Simply Whispers, but it doesn't look like it's a 14 karat, and it doesn't look like it maybe came with this. But it's non-magnetic, so I'm guessing this is actually maybe what came back, because the writing on these earrings is so small I can't tell what it says, but there is a designer mark on it, so I'm guessing. But it just looks different than the gold. That's, I don't know, it just has a different look, but it could be brass also, but because I don't see any 14 karat writing on it or anything. I can't see anywhere where, yeah, it's just got a sharp edge to it, which normally doesn't come on 14 karat earrings, but those might be made by a crafter, actually, like a metal worker. They might be custom made, because I said the back is looked a little different when I first saw it. Here's the other earring to that first one. This is so dumb, but these are so cute. My grandkids, for like dress up, princess dress up, these little gems. It's kind of fun. And the problem is these catch on everything, and so they're cute and fun for grandkids, but if they're wearing a princess dress, it will catch on them. All these corners will catch on them and rip the dress, but still, she likes that kind of stuff for dress up. This looks interesting. This looks like it could be something. Napier. This is could be a designer piece. It looks a little bit more expensive and heavier than some of the other. Actually, maybe it's a Napier is a brand I've heard of before, though. It's a little magnetic, yeah. But the magnetism could be the metal inside the beads. See that? This looks like it's a homemade kind of a thing. I don't know. This one's weird. It's heavy. It feels like a designer. It's got that brand tag, but it almost looks like a homemade tag. Okay, this is plated. Let me show you the plate. You can see the brass coming through. So can you see the brass coming through? So that's interesting. I don't know if, and then you can see it says Napier on there. So I'm going to have to do some testing on the beads themselves. I think it's probably just plated. I can see that there's flecks coming off of the one side. And if I was going to make something with real gold, if those were real gold or real silver beads, I think I would make it a little more secure. But anyway, I'm not sure on that one. I'm going to have to just do some testing on the beads themselves. Now, wouldn't this be angelic if this was real? If that was real gold, would I be in my happy place? There's a little tag. Let's see what that says. Monet. That's an 80s designer piece. That is heavy, heavy, heavy. So I'm guessing brass because it's super heavy. Monet is just a costume jewelry company that was popular in the 80s. And there's still some people buy it online still, so there's some value to that as a Monet piece. In fact, I gave all my bridesmaids Monet necklaces for my wedding. That was their wedding gift for being in my bridal party. I wore them for the wedding and then got to keep them. So it was kind of big back in the day. This is interesting. Very interesting. A horseshoe, the Eiffel Tower, and a butterfly. Those are not 4 charms I would put together. I think it's icing. Yeah, this is an icing. Somebody might want that. I'll put that in the sell, locally yard sale place. Okay. There's pearls right here. The one strand is broken. This is like a 50s style with the three strands of pearls. See if I can get it untangled. Let's see. Made in West Germany. So this is actually vintage. You just never know anymore. So what I do with these kind of things is it's very hard to reattach one of these strands. You can tie a thread around it and tie it off into a knot and then thread it through the edge here, and I might do a video on that. Or this is the other way to do it fast if you don't want to deal with reattaching that. See, the beads are starting to fall off it now. I should have just left it alone. I will come to the other side and just clip it off here, and then that one strand will just be a smaller strand in the middle right there because it's coming off of the middle one. So there's discoloration to some of the beads. The painting is coming off of some of the beads, but it's still a pretty necklace. I could probably sell that on eBay. I probably will fix it just because it's really a vintage and it's kind of fun that it's, because most of those they break so much that you can't fix them, but that one's actually in pretty good shape, so that's good. This is kind of old school. Look at this. That's kind of fun that it's still in its original container, and it was $6.95. Bright bands, adjustable end width. That's fun. Look at the back. That's kind of fun to see that. Old school. I probably could sell that online too. Okay, this earring, I was thinking when I saw it in the bag that it could be real gold because, let me show you the back of the other one. They're hollow. And it's harder to work with hollow tubes if you're twisting them and they get bent. Look, it's down the bottom too. So see how they're hollow? But if they were like a high count gold, then they would probably bend and not work. So it could be brass, just so they're not so heavy of a brass. Brass is not magnetic. Gold is not magnetic. So you have to do several different things. You can look on the back of the, oh, this is making me so happy. You have to look on the back of the earring. But like I said, they can be changed out. So I ran my finger around and it's rough when I'm running my finger on it. So they typically do not take the time to stamp it if it's not of value. And it's 14 karat. So the other reason I bought the bag was I saw that, and I thought when it's hollow like that, that's a good sign because they're trying to not make them as expensive. So let's see about the back on this one and see if the back is 14 karat. The back has more gold oftentimes than the earring itself because the back's, it's an Avon back. See, so they use their Avon backs for, so let me see if I can show you the 14K. It's so teeny on these. I need to get one of those electronic microscope things that, maybe it's easier to find it on this one. Let's see. I think they put it on this side. All right, it might be hard for me to show you, but it's upside down, but I don't, that's right. Can you see it right there? 14 karat. So that worker really did not want me to get this bag. I bet she is so mad that I got this bag today. That's so funny. Okay, and these also to me look like quality earrings. They're maybe designer. They're very heavy. They do look plated, and they're a heavier stone in the middle and a heavier. The stem is silver, so I don't think they're real, but this is heavy, and the stone itself, it just kind of seems like they're a little bit, well, it's well made for, but I can see that it's plated. Yeah. So it's magnetic. So, but they look designer and they're heavy duty. So, and these also could be the same designer maybe. This one's bent. Yeah, they're plated. I'll show you. You can see how it's black around the base of that. Can you see how it's black? Kind of. So, but they're magnetic, but not really magnetic. But they're don't look real. They look very plated. Yeah, I was just double checking the back, and there's some black right in there as well. So those are plated. What is this? Years of service for a company. I don't know. It's like abbreviated. So sometimes the years of service pins are real, but this one looks brass. Brown Income USA. So yeah, I don't think it's real. It feels brass. It looks brass. There's no marking on it that says it's real. It has magnetism. Yeah. But people collect pins. I don't know. Actually, that could be pretty, that stone. You kind of put it in a, my sister makes wedding bouquets. This is a Lieba, L-I-E-B-E, or A-E-B. I can't tell whether it's an E or an A at the end. USA. It's kind of a fun decorative scarf clasp. It's kind of pretty. That might sell. A brass bracelet. That actually might fit one of my daughters. That's small. Let's see if it will fit me. It's so big boned. It's so tight. No, I don't even want to keep it on. It's so tight. She might like that. It's small enough it might, although her wrists are so thin, who knows. Okay, here's the back of that other one, and the back, I mean the backs are exactly the same as on the other one, so I think it was probably a 2-pack that they got. An earring that is magnetized. It looks like it's brass or gold plated. It's not. I'm just double checking the top again. There's no writing. There's no. Yeah, it's definitely looks plated. Oh, here's the other one right here. They're kind of cute though. I don't know if any of my girls would want them, but. And then here's the other enamel 80s earring. Yeah, this is made out of reed or tan kind of, what's that stuff called? Cane. It's kind of a caned bracelet. From the islands or something. I could put that with my luau stuff. All right, these earrings are from a company called Mix It. Kind of a weird pink rose color. And they were $16 from some company. I don't know. So those would also be a nice gift. They have little diamonds in the center. Somebody might like those. I have a daughter that actually might like those. So, a fashion jewelry earrings. They look like they're from the 80s. Check those out. Those are huge. But I also have a daughter who might like those. So, oh, she won't wear them actually because she doesn't like earrings that are like this. She only likes danglies. But yeah, somebody might like those. All right. Kind of big. I'll offer those to them. Okay, here's the other weird tinny kind of earring. And here's the other huge brass heavy hoop. Oh my gosh. I actually have a daughter that might wear them, but they are so heavy. I don't know if she would. And then there's this lovely little shell charm that fell off of the necklace. Oh, it might have gone on that one right at the beginning I was going to recycle. Maybe it came off of that. I'll put it on there and let somebody have it because actually the top of this is silver. So it must have come off of that. That was it. There's a couple of those pearls in the bottom and a little jump ring. So I will repair that necklace and you'll see it on eBay sometime. Nobody actually watches these videos. They just do the recap at the end, but I don't blame them. I do the same thing sometimes. I just like having noise when people, when I'm working. So I'll just listen to channels when I'm working. So, so we've got these two 14 karat gold earrings. These two 14K earrings, which are even heavier. This 14K necklace. I'm quite sure it's real gold. And then this 14K necklace. I can see why she was upset that I was there buying that. And I got some, really heavy. Oh my gosh, it is so heavy. Can you hear it? It's thumping my chest. Gosh, you can hear this one that's light and easy, and then there's this heavy, thumpy one. And then I got some Monet and some other things to sell online, so it was worth it. And then I'm gonna check this one out. I don't know. It's a little weird. There's a few just different things about it that are a little off. It's almost like a necklace or bracelet broke and somebody tried to make a new one out of the beads from that necklace. It's something that's intriguing on that one. So that could be gold or silver. I don't know. But what a great bag for 20 bucks. I got my money's worth out of that bag, and I'm sure the worker's very unhappy that I came when I did. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Check out my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com. I take pictures, close-ups, and things of that and post about them there. And I have a YouTube channel that's just for treasure hunting that I talk about why I got into this and how to tell the difference and things like that. So check that out as well. And I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a very blessed day.